So I support this bill, which will strengthen our ability to address threats to racial harmony. The bill does this holistically through not just quick and preemptive responses, but through community-based approach. I commend the MHA for its broad consultation with the public and community leaders. We all have a stake in a multi-racial and multi-religious society. The consultative process for the bill reflects this priority. I have 3 points of clarification to raise. My first point is on the function of the Presidential Council for Racial and Religious Harmony, or PCRRH. This will replace the Presidential Council for Religious Harmony. The PCRRH is supposed to comprise representatives from all major racial and religious communities in Singapore. Race and religion are two distinct matters. Context, considerations, and nuances for racial and religious matters will differ. Representatives from major racial communities may not be best placed to opine on religious matters and vice versa. Can ministers share if the ministry considered setting a distinct council for racial matters? Can ministers share the rationale for having a combined council for racial and religious matters, and how this is preferable to having distinct councils? Next, under Section 9 of Schedule 1 on the PCRRH, vacancy amongst its members does not affect the validity of the PCRRH proceedings. Presumably, the requirement that representatives from all major racial and religious communities in Singapore are present on the PCRRH are to ensure that perspectives of all communities are considered. While the quorum requirement ensures that at least half of members must be present, the PCRRH is also set up such that every member plays an important role in representing their racial or religious community. For instance, under the current Presidential Council for Religious Harmony, there is one representative for each major religious group. It is difficult to imagine a decision concerning a particular religious group without the representative from that group present. Without being prescriptive as to the procedure of the PCRRH, can ministers share if the chairperson of the PCRRH should ensure the presence of representatives when decisions affecting their communities are deliberated and made? My second point is on restraining orders. When a restraining order is first imposed, the President may cancel, confirm, or vary the restraining order if the advice of the Cabinet is contrary to the recommendation of the PCRRH. However, when it comes to the extension of a restraining order, the President can only cancel a direction or confirm the direction without variation. Can ministers share why the President does not have the discretion to vary the direction when it comes to the extension of a restraining order? Can ministers also share what measures are available to address the root causes of racist conduct which necessitate the restraining order in the first place? When it comes to the offences relating to race, the bill introduces the possibility of community remediation. Individuals subject to a restraining order may similarly require intervention to address ideologies and misconceptions underlying the conduct. What steps will be taken to address the root causes of the conduct attracting the restraining order? My third and final point is on remediation for serious offenders. The bill will provide for a community remedial initiative, or CRI, raised. Under CRI race, persons who have engaged in conduct prejudicial to racial harmony can take remedial action for their conduct. Completing the program can be taken into account by the public prosecutor in deciding whether to prosecute a race-related offence under the bill. Underlying the CRI race is the principle of restorative justice. The offender will have the opportunity to learn and make amends. This restores any damaged community relations and can even serve to strengthen ties. However, the CRI raise will not be offered if the offence is egregious. The Ministry has stated that criminal prosecution will be pursued to send a signal of non-tolerance for serious racial offending. I agree that prosecution may be necessary in serious cases. Appropriate punishment is also a form of repairing community relations by reinforcing healthy norms on race relations. However, punishment and rehabilitation are not mutually exclusive. Even serious offenders who are jailed must eventually return and reintegrate into society. For these serious offenders, time in prison alone does not necessarily mean they will emerge with any better understanding of race relation. It may be even more important for these serious offenders to participate in programs targeted to address deep-seated ideologies and misconceptions. These programs should incorporate community-based approaches. Can ministers share what programs are available for the rehabilitation of serious offenders who are not eligible for CRI raise? How do we ensure that their time in prison does not have the adverse effect of radicalizing these individuals even further? So notwithstanding these clarifications, I stand in support of the bill.